Hey people! Welcome back to our channel. And today we'll be doing something a bit different since me and Mela are multimedia artists. We enjoy watching movies and TV shows and all that. And today we'd like to bring you a segment called Quick Reviews! Because, you know... And if you've seen the thumbnail of this video, you know... Okay, so now that's out of the way, we'll be doing a Spider-Man Far From Home review. Yeah, and if you haven't seen it yet, now is your time to leave because we're going deep into spoiler territory. So, Spider-Man Far From Home is the sequel of Spider-Man Homecoming and the direct follow-up from Avengers Endgame. And I have to say, it's a really good follow-up movie to Avengers Endgame. I really enjoyed the acting, especially coming from Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, Zendaya playing MJ, and of course Tom Holland as Peter Parker. Although much can be said of the scenes involving Nick Fury, I think you can cut out about 80% of his scenes and the movie would be just fine. But again, this is based purely on my opinion and you can have your own opinion, so don't forget to leave down in the comments what you think of Nick Fury in this movie. So moving on. Speaking of the acting, I really enjoyed the love story between Peter Parker and MJ. It felt natural, you know, they did it in a way that worked, you know, unlike some superhero films where they just shoehorn in that love story. Just shoehorn that love story for the sake of the hero having a love interest, and it doesn't really make sense for the story. But for this one, it really hit home, you know, and I appreciate that. So as a graphic artist, I really enjoy good motion design, good visual effects in movies, and that's our next topic right now. We're gonna talk about the CG in the movie, and oh my god, I really love what they did with Mysterio. You know, for quite some time as a Spider-Man fan, I never thought I would see Mysterio in the big screen, because, you know, I felt like way back when in the Sam Raimi films, I felt that his powers wouldn't translate well at all in the big screen. But that just goes to show how much film has evolved through the years, and they did it really spot on. Kudos and well done, graphics team. Like, that was an amazing job. Although if I had to nitpick something, just the physics of Mysterio's powers, didn't he use projectors? And like, I didn't really get how the projectors made everything dark, because, you know, projectors are supposed to emit light and yada yada yada. That's just a very small thing, but visually speaking, oh my god, I have no words. It was so amazing and I enjoyed it a lot. As a kid, that's how I imagined Mysterio's powers would have worked, and yeah, I was very satisfied with it. So for those who don't know, Mysterio is one of the Spider-Man's most popular villains. The story from Spider-Man Far From Home is taken from the Quentin Beck Mysterio. So the Mysterio title gets passed on from different characters. So taking from the comics, Quentin Beck is a special effects master. You know, he's the guy behind the scenes in movies, making explosions, making illusions and all that. They pretty much tried to stay true to the comic source by making him like still an illusion master, but a more updated version as a CG hologram master. And I really appreciate that as a long-time Spider-Man fan. So the twist in the end, if you're a long-time Spider-Man fan, you kinda expect it to happen already because, you know, Mysterio being one of his biggest villains, is you kinda expect him to turn out to be the bad guy in the end. So now we're going deep into spoiler territory. We'll be talking about the mid-credit scene and the end-credit scene. So let's talk about the mid-credit scene, and like, oh my god, that was my favorite mid-credit scene out of all the MCU mid-credit scenes. Like, oh my god, I was totally geeking out when I saw J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Like, oh my god, he is just perfect for that role, and I can't imagine any other actor portraying J. Jonah Jameson quite as good as J.K. Simmons. And side note, he was also the J. Jonah Jameson and in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. So now let's talk about the end credit scene. And a lot of you may be thinking, meh, so what? Nick Fury's in space now. Whatever, right? But if you take it into context on what's to come in the MCU, you'd be surprised. Because for some of you who don't know why Nick Fury is in space, it's because he is setting up the SWORD space station. Yes, that's right. And so what is SWORD? Well, to put it into context, SHIELD is like, you know, protecting Earth from earthbound threats like, you know, terrorists, like Hydra and all that. While on the other hand, SWORD protects Earth from spacebound threats like Thanos, the Galactus, and the Eternals, or all that. All the great cosmic villains. You know, if Thanos wanted to go shopping in Earth, they know. Although Thanos is dead, so moving on. Okay, so now we'll be moving on to more of a theory crafting segment where we try to imagine what is coming in the phase 4 of the MCU. So in the plane scene where Spider-Man was browsing the movies on the plane, there was a few hints maybe of future films. Like there was one Nova teaser. So there was a movie on the plane that Peter Parker was scrolling through, and it was called Nova, and it was a documentary by Eric Selvig. So for those of you who don't know, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, you remember the guys who were almost wiped out by Ronan the Accuser? Those guys were the Nova Corps. So Nova is just a regular kid from Earth who happened to stumble upon the Nova Corps tech, and now he's a space-based hero who protects Earth from space-based threats. So he also partners up with Peter Parker sometimes, so maybe something team-up movie coming in the future. Okay, so another movie that got me really interested was the Iron Man documentary called The Heart of Iron, because that could be a nod to another Iron Man like superhero, which is called Ironheart, whose secret identity is Riri Williams, but I don't know, maybe they're going for Stark's daughter or something. We'll have to see and find out. And also there are some theories saying that the hidden message of Happy to Nick Fury was hinting at the Silver Surfer, because they were talking about a surfboard, but I don't know, maybe that's really far in the MCU's timeline because they just got the rights to Fantastic Four. So we also have hints of Kraven the Hunter by his half-brother appearing as Nick Fury's henchman called Dmitry Kashnikov? I can't really say it, but I'll put it down here. You can discuss how I should say it down in the comments. And moving on. And again, guys, these are purely speculation on what's to come. I have no insider source. but basing on the history of the MCU, they like to hide hints in their movies of what's next and what's to come. So okay guys, I know it's a long video, but we'll be rating Spider-Man Far From Home a solid 8.5 out of 10 Neds. So what did you guys think, and how did you rate Spider-Man Far From Home? And who do you think should be the next villain in the next Spider-Man film? Sinister Six, maybe? Sinister Six? Maybe Venom or Kraven? Comment down below, who do you think is the best Spider-Man villain? And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and that bell so you'll be notified of our next videos. Again, this is me, Kevin, of our channel, signing off.